Long time no talk, guys.
Hey, I meant to ask this last night. Did Jaime actually get that ice bath? And what are you guys doing to preserve bodies? You're going to be the only team to play 3 times in 5 days when Monday rolls around.
Um, I'm not sure what Shane actually came up with. We have, technology's changed, Ben, since the old ice bath and the gray cold tub. Now you have these full body, what do they call them? Game readies, where they get their whole lower body in a, basically it's like sweatpants you put on that go cold. So, I mean, we have stuff here with us. But it's a good question. I would say this, I don't worry about our physical fatigue because we prepared for this. So we lost to Oregon State. We practiced Saturday. We were off Fridays. We went Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So we had five days. 4 of those 5 days, our practice was totally non-contact. So, because it's, trying to prepare to play 3. I'm more concerned with our emotional gas tank. That's my big thing. So, I after we won, I had to do media stuff. I told the guys, and the coaches when they're headed for the locker room, hey, keep it down. Just all the you want the kids to have fun, but you don't want them to be, let all their adrenaline and emotion out. So just getting their emotional gas tank back towards full is my biggest concern, more so, than the games, because we've tried to preserve them. I've been doing this a while. So like today, all we'll do is walk through and do recovery stuff we'll use the court. Will be like almost like a big yoga mat. We'll get more done with that than we will on the basketball side. Video and a lot of walkthrough will be, our preparation today.
Johnny said something that stood out to me after the game last night about practice putting this team in a right frame of mind for what we've seen these last 2 games. Can you talk about what you've seen and kind of the growing confidence of this team and where it came from?
Well, again, we're a young team. I'm their leader and my coaching staff. And, I think the more you win, the more the guys realize how important practice preparation is. Not just, whether you're practicing how to play hard or whether you're practicing your mental preparation of how important it is to follow the game plan. And that when you do, it leads to success. It's just that, I say this to you guys, winners know why they win. And when you build a program and you have players in your locker room that have won and they understand the important things that you're telling them to get ready to win a game, what happens is, it breeds everybody else listening. So when you do win, the guys start to really, buy in and understand, hey, because the season gets long, Ben, and, scouting reports get tedious. And, I have to, as a head coach, you have to tell assistants, they're so into it, you got to realize who, these guys, they can only take so much. They're not coaches. Their head's going to explode, I remember a coach said one time, you got 12 minutes. After 12 minutes, they're not hearing anything you say. So, but our guys are growing up, and really starting to realize the importance of the mental part of the game. The older you get, the higher up you go in basketball, the game becomes more mental. All you got to do is listen to NBA players talk and how, a guy, listen to LeBron James talk about the game. So, our guys are getting much more mature, and that's helped us.
Tom, go ahead.
Hey, Mick, this tournament's been kind of weird in the sense that there's been a lot of, seedings don't seem to mean anything. You're playing Abilene Christian, a 14-11. I mean, you've won 11 titles. They've won one game. I mean, how bizarre is this March?
I think they all are, Tom, to be honest with you. What's really bizarre is my parents and my players coming to the hotel to wave at their kids through the window. To me, I mean, I can, you know, that is an unbelievable thing. You know, I'm from Cincinnati, an hour and a half away, and I have 30 people at the game that I'd like to say hi to. There's people that I'd like to hug, and I can't. You know, I'm waving at them. And it's that part is really weird. But I don't buy. You know, to me, Tom, I mean, there's upsets every year. There are. There just are. Now, you know, in the committee, how can you get seating right when you have some teams played 18 games, other teams played 25? You know, how do you get seating right when teams are on COVID pauses, other teams weren't? Then you throw in injuries. So I would agree with you that seating is probably as off as it's ever been. But how could you possibly get it right this year? You know, with teams not playing an equal number of games and with all the COVID pauses, teams out or players out, just impossible to you know, hit the bank, you know, be on the money with the seeding this year.
Thank you.
Adam, go ahead.
Mick, last night you talked about Abilene's ability to force turnovers. Just wondering how you try to prepare the team for a team like that. Like, I understand that, you know, practice is going to be more of a walkthrough today, but do you try to simulate anything during shoot around tomorrow, or does it really just come down to, you know, film cut ups for them to examine?
Well, yeah. So our game, what we do this in the Pac-12, so we're used to this. You know, our practice will be limited today, but you know, tomorrow we'll practice in the morning on game day. But yeah, they're impossible to simulate. I mean, I'm going to try. Film is going to be extremely important. Yeah, the way they play, I'm sure our guys have not seen. I can't speak for their high school experiences if they played a team that totally disrupts you the way Abilene Christian does. Maybe some of them have. I'm hoping they have. But when we start to show the film, but their commitment to the way they play is what strikes me the most. You know, jumps off the screen at me, is their players' commitment to the way they play. But yeah, not an easy preparation in a short period of time. Not an easy preparation at all.
Sam, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. So their starting backcourt is Damian Daniels, 5'7", Reggie Miller, ironically, is 6 foot flat. How do you think those two, and they both average over 2 steals a game, how do you think those two are going to match up with Tiger and Jules and Johnny specifically on both ends of the floor, considering, I mean, even with Tiger, you guys might have a bit of a size advantage? Yeah,
you know, they're having a size advantage in this game is completely irrelevant, Sam, because they turn the game into a game of speed and disruption. So the other thing is, you know, size, they eliminate your size advantage on the backboard with their hustle and their commitment to blocking out. So they're as good defensively, guys. I mean, this is not just a coach talking. I mean, Texas only got off 40 shots and scored 52 points. They got a lottery pick, senior, you know, 2 senior guards, a junior guard, a great coach. They were minus 27 in shot attempts. So their size is not an issue for them defensively at all, because they make up for it with unbelievable speed, effort, and disruption. I will say this, the hardest thing for our guy. What they do to you, the mental handling, what they do mentally as a player. It's been a long time since I played, but I wasn't that bad. And you know, and back in my younger days, you know, when people used to face guard you and harass you, it's just a real mental drain, and you got to be able to deal with the constant harassment. And then what happens is you get out of sorts. And that's what happened to Texas's guards. You know, I have great respect. I know Matt Coleman, tried to recruit him at Cincinnati. Had an unbelievable career. To see him turn the ball over 7 times and have the game he had tells me how good Abilene Christian is defensively. Because I think the world of Matt Coleman.
Rick Kimbrell.
Hi, Mick.
What's up, Rick?
Not much. Listen, that 3-game road trip at the end of the season, is that going to help your guys prepare mentally for the quick turnaround?
Not really, because we went back home. You know, I think the only thing that's going to help you now, Rick, is your desire to continue on. You know, that you're here to stay, that you didn't come for fun. You know, Abilene Christian beat the state school in Texas. What a win. I mean, I was at Murray State. I couldn't imagine beating Kentucky in the NCAA tournament. You know,
Wow.
They got to regroup from that. I couldn't even imagine when I was at Murray State of having that win. Like, and for us, you know, you got to want more. You know, so going into the week, I was telling you know, we got to win the entire weekend. So we got to win 3. So, you know, I don't know what prepares you. Again, you know, I would just refer back to what I said to Ben, you know, our emotional gas tank, getting back, you know, adrenaline release is tough. So, you know, but I just keep telling our guys, hey, man, our kids all come from the AAU scene where they'd fly in, play 2 on Friday night, play 3 on Saturday, and then try to win the tournament on Sunday before that ended at 2:00. You know, so we can make all we want of this stuff. You know, but I'm the one that has to sit in the damn chairs and watch all that stuff, you know, on AAU weekends. So, you know, I'm sure, you know, Tiger Campbell's played 5-6 games a weekend his entire life from April to August. We probably make more of it than it is. So hopefully it won't be an issue.
Tracy.
Hey, Mick. So clearly Abilene Christian's a good defensive team.
No, they're great. Trace, let's
great.
They're
Sorry.
great. Let's
Okay.
give them credit. I mean, they're unbelievable. Go ahead, though. I'm just messing with you.
No, it's okay. How unique are they in their style defensively, especially in today's college basketball? Just how they go about it.
Yeah, that, and I don't know if you've seen them at all, but that's the best question of the day. They're extremely unique, and I say that with great respect, because you have got to be to coach your team the way Coach Golden coaches his team. Like, you can't half step it. Like, you can't be afraid. You can't only pressure and do what they do to like teams you're better than. It's a total commitment to playing a certain way, and you got to practice it every day, and you got to be totally committed to it. It's a constant. You got to keep players fresh, so it's a constant rotation of guys in and out to draw the charge, to steal the ball. To play that style, you know, I'm not sure what year Joe switched over to this style of play, but it's a complete leap of faith to do it. So, you know, I got to give him a lot of credit. But yes, it is extremely different, which it makes it the hardest part of the preparation for us. And I think, you know, it would be extremely arrogant or hard-headed of me to think that it's going to be easy and downplay what they do, because then you're just going to walk right into a buzzsaw and they're going to make you look silly. Because your guys is like, we have not played, I don't know what our record is now, but we have not played anybody that plays anywhere near the way they play the game. And they're going to dictate the way it's played. There's nothing you can do about it. I mean, that, you know, if you watch any other Texas game, there's just nothing you can do about it, Tracy. So you better be ready for it. You better get shots off because, you know, I don't know how Texas even came close. 67-40 last night, field goal attempts.
You know, I love trying to challenge like your basketball memory. Do they remind you of anyone that you've seen in their style of defense?
Yes. I'm going to try to get the correct year. When Dwayne Wade was at Marquette, they went to the Final Four. That year, I was assistant head coach with Coach Pitino at Louisville. UAB, Mike Anderson. They made the Sweet 16. They led the nation in steals. We played them at Louisville, and I had to do the scout. We played at 6 o'clock on a Friday night, played them at 11:30 the next morning on CBS. And I had to huddle the team at 8:30, 8 in the morning, showing them film of UAB stealing the ball. I think Dwayne Wade had 10 or 11 turnovers because he took it personal trying to beat their pressure, and they just kept stealing the ball from him, running multiple people at his dribbles. But it's been, you know, that one goes back, but that team made the Sweet 16. That's when Mike Anderson had an unbelievable run at UAB. Then he left for Missouri. But that would 100% be the comparison, 100%.
Okay, we got time for one more. Let's go back to Ben.
Do you have a turnover goal in mind going into this game? And you feel like you're going to have multiple best ball handlers on the court at every time with like maybe 2 out of the 3 of Tiger, Jules, and David Singleton on the court at any given time?
Let me just say this. I'm hopeful we don't have 4 before the first TV timeout. We only had 4 in the whole game against UAB. I'm hoping we don't have 4 at the first TV timeout. So, you know, anything under 15 is going to probably a win against this team. You got to be realistic. As far as, you know, as far as ball handling play, everybody's going to have to handle the ball. The problem is against them, they get guys sped up and guys overhandle it. And if you overhandle it, you are going to charge or turn it over. So the difference at Ben is, as I alluded to, remembering Coach Pitino used to say to me when he was with the Knicks that Isaiah Thomas struggled the most against their press because he overhandled it because he took it personal. What are you trying to press me? I'm Isaiah Thomas, and look how, you know, he was. He's, you know, I grew up wearing his number. But you can't overhandle it trying to be a hero. And as I alluded to, I saw Dwayne Wade do that to UAB, and they lost in the conference tournament. So I'm more concerned with the guys that do handle it, Ben, because, you know, saying, well, I can do this, and they overhandle it. Because they're going to take it from you. It is not if, it's when. It's not if, it's when. They're going to take it from you. So a lot of films, you know, a lot of film today to get it through to our guys, you know, but my message will be directed at those guys the most.
Okay, let's wrap it up there. Thanks for your time, Coach.
All right, guys. Thank you.